When LeBron James decides he's retiring, it is coming with trumpets blaring, Adam Silver by his side, and he is going on a state-by-state, coast-to-coast tour so that everyone can acknowledge how great he was and give him a parting gift and thank him for his amazing contributions to the NBA.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
The future of the prediction markets, I think, at least for now, may be in the hands of the federal courts. But the good news for those who support prediction markets is that these court battles may last for another 2 to 3 years before we get clarity around the law. And nominee Seelig was handpicked by Donald Trump, not because he was neutral on prediction markets, but because he would do nothing to slow it down.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
He's the fan favorite. They love talking about Stafford, the 38-year-old guy. He's the Super Bowl champ. We got the family. Any opportunity to pump McVay and Stafford as a team, they do that. They love this team. They love Aaron Donald, and rightfully so. Best defensive player, but they love to pump up Stafford.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
Football contest season is back, and so is the Las Vegas Football Contest Show. Season 2, the sharpest football contest show in the land. Focusing on all 3 Circus Sports contests and the Westgate Superbook Super Contest, we handicap the games and release our contest picks every week of the season. Featuring Super Contest champions Brady Cannon, James Salinas, and former NFL player Mike Pritchard, all team will have you prepared this season like none other. Check us out every weekend right here.
And welcome in. It is In-Game Live Game Day here on the grid. Scott Wetzel and Gabriel Morency for the next 2 glorious hours on a terrific Tuesday, right up until 10 p.m. Eastern Time, watching, analyzing, betting on the world of sports. Ah, yes, it's a beautiful thing. College football rankings are out. I've not yet seen it, although I do know Mississippi's up to number 6, which is interesting. But we'll go over that. College basketball, great slate of games tonight. ACC versus SEC. We got a full slate of NBA. We got some NHL hockey to get to as well. So should be a busy and hopefully profitable next 2 hours here on the grid. First up, though, game time. What's betting you off tonight, Gabe?
Well, college football playoff rankings came out this evening, but man, I'm just, as much as I love the sport of college football, it's everything about except the actual games. And we're to the point right now where the actual results don't matter on the field. Politics, what conference you're in, how powerful is your athletic director is as big as anything else right now. And between the coaches leaving and the constant lawsuits, and man, like, it's just a sordid, absolute mess. I can't wait till Saturday when we actually just play these games, but I'm just so sick of everything about college football right now.
Yeah, it's not an easy sport to follow and really support it. It really isn't. So we'll get into it. We'll check out the rankings and let you know where your favorite team is and what scenario they may need in order to get into the college football playoff, which is in a couple of weeks still. So opening pickoff time, flip over to college basketball game for my first play of the night, and that's Purdue, the Boilermakers, laying 13.5, 14.5. I've seen it flip back and forth. They're at Rutgers tonight. Rutgers stinks. Purdue, maybe the number 1 team in the country, as they seemingly always are in the regular season, and then they find a way to lose in the NCAA tournament. But this is the regular season, right? Big Ten opener for both. How good is Purdue? Undefeated and being the number 1 team in the country. They have a 7'4" center, Gabe, that's had 19 straight shots. The dude hasn't missed a shot in 4 straight games, and the kicker is he's a backup. So they got a backup who's made nothing but successful shots for 4 straight games. How good is the starting center, right? Rutgers lost to Central Connecticut. They're no competition for Purdue. Give me the Boilermakers laying a 14.5.
I'll go with the National Basketball Association. The San Antonio Spurs, now down to 5 points right now, taking on a Memphis Grizzly team that have actually won a couple of games as of late and been playing better basketball. But with that being stated, the Spurs are a good team and have actually been winning without Wembanyama. They've been winning without Castle in the lineup. The Spurs are 8-2 at home this year. The only 2 games they lost to the same team in like one of those back-to-back home series type of deals. They lost to the Golden State Warriors twice in a week for whatever reason, and they had Wembanyama. It's the only time they've lost at home this year. 8-2 on their home court. Also, the San Antonio Spurs, they've won 13 games this year. They've covered in 10 of them, all right? And one of them was a push. So only 2 times this year the San Antonio Spurs won a basketball game and not covered the point spread. Let's lay the 5 with the San Antonio Spurs.
All right. I hate to say it, but we're in the same camp with that one. Same thing. I love San Antonio. I won't regurgitate the numbers. No Ja Morant. And Memphis has won 5 of 6. But if you look and see who they beat, it's like the worst teams in the NBA. It really is. And they just lost to San Antonio about a week and a half or so ago by 10 points. I agree wholeheartedly. Give me the Spurs. Same thing. Lay the 5, 5.5 if that's your number against Memphis tonight.
Even though it is a big night of college basketball, this game I think is a good opportunity for betting purposes. Let's go with the under. And I'm not a big under better, but as someone that likes to bet overs, there's no way in hell I would bet over 232.5 points in this game. I don't think there's enough players to get there, actually. And there's still enough big bodies on the court to slow things down. They just played a couple of weeks ago. They got to 212 points. The Grizzlies are a big under team this year. They're 14-7 to the under. Let's go under a very lofty 232.5 points tonight.
All right. Rare night. We're kind of concentrating on the NBA here. I'll use another game. I'll take the Boston Celtics getting a point and a half against the Knickerbockers. And this line doesn't make any sense to me. Boston's the home team, and I'm getting odds against a Knick team that's really good at home, 10-1. But this isn't at home, folks. It's on the road where they're only 3-5 this year. Celtics, red hot. They're playing great ball. They won 6 of their last 8. And again, you want to give me a point and a half? What am I missing here? Give me Boston plus the point and a half against New York.
I'll get to that game momentarily. I'll stick to this one more pick, and we're all in on this Grizzlies and Spurs game. But yeah, De'Aaron Fox. So listen, there's no Castle and there's no Wembanyama. We all wondered about how De'Aaron Fox was going to fit in with this team, and there's only one basketball, but he's fit in very well, and it's a good thing that they have him right now during injuries like this because he's carrying the team. All right, so Wemby has been gone for 7 games so far. In the 7 games, De'Aaron Fox is averaging 26 points a game. All right, he already averages 24 as it is, but he puts up 26 without Wembanyama. Now you've got no Castle as well. It's going to be De'Aaron Fox's game tonight. He's going to be the primary scorer for San Antonio. And, oh, yeah, by the way, the Memphis Grizzlies give up 28 points a game to opposing point guards. Man, that's not good. You're giving up 28 points a game. It's actually, there's 2 other teams that give up more. They're ranked the third worst in the NBA at giving up points to point guards. Look for De'Aaron Fox to go off tonight and at least get 25 or more. It's 24.5.
All right. Last one for the opening pickoff. We have a late pickoff at 9 o'clock Eastern time. A little hockey. How about Philip Forsberg, 3 shots on goal or more? You got to lay a little juice. It's right kind of at that number where I say, all right, I'm going to play it straight versus put it in a parlay because they really give you the big, you got to lay the juice on a lot of these guys. So it's Nashville and Calgary. One thing about the NHL, unlucky for us, is they don't have too many games that start at 8 o'clock. It's either 7, 7:30, or 10. So we're kind of stuck here. I wanted to throw one hockey in there. Nashville, disappointing team. We know that. Hosting Calgary, who's playing a little bit better, but for the most part, a disappointing team as well. He's had, point being, he's had 3 shots on goal in 7 of his last games, with most of those being 4. He averages 3 shots on goal. That's why you got to lay a little juice here. And Calgary is right middle of the pack as far as allowing shots on goal game. But give me Philip Forsberg. It's a game that Nashville's got to circle on the calendar and say we can win this one, getting 3 shots on goal or more tonight.
I'll go with an NBA game, but we'll be on opposite sides of this one. And do I love this? No. It's kind of a toss-up game. right? I mean, the point spread tells us it's a toss-up game, but it's a big game. It's New York versus Boston. I didn't really want to avoid it for people. And I'm on the other side, though. You look at the Knicks. They've won 4 straight games. They don't have OG Anunoby still. And, yeah, the Celtics have won, 3 of their 4. But, the Celtics are just too inconsistent for me. We're talking about a team that, lost to Brooklyn, right? Like, they're not a great home team. And I think the Knicks come to play tonight. The Knicks have beaten Boston 3 of the last 4 times that they played. To me, the talent discrepancy, like you're right, the Knicks are not a great road team, but the Celtics aren't a great home team for whatever reason either. So I think it's kind of a wash. Could be a close game, but I think I got the best player on the court with Brunson. Give me the Knicks tonight.
All right. Not a crazy pick. Same thing with me. It's kind of a toss-up game. I didn't want to let it go. It was one of the, the better games on tonight, New York and Boston. So got to have a little piece on it. But I like the Celtics. You like the Knicks. That's why it's gambling, right? There's plenty of times we'll be on opposite sides of things. So great slate of college basketball game. Man, did I really like the under? And it's coming to fruition, knock on wood, so far, right? I don't want to jinx it here. But Duke and Florida tonight, part of the ACC, SEC, challenge that they have. I did not see this one being a shootout. I really did. Both are under teams, and it's siding towards the under. It's 25-19 with 5.5 minutes left. And this was 156, 157 or so. So
it's 147 and a half now. So, it is playing to the under, but it's a couple of 3 balls away from getting back on pace. But Duke are really good defensively. Right? The really good teams are really good defensively. Duke are a really good team.
Yeah. We'll check out the other scores when we come back in Game Live.
The play is Our Fam. You don't know about Our Fam? Go look her up on social media. Go look at YouTube. 19-year-old from Spain, 6'6", block shots, runs the floor, rebounds, post up, inside, outside, pop the corn, serve the beer, and it can clean up the mess when you're done eating your meal. This lady is absolutely fantastic.
Pro basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
Ole Miss got left at the altar, and Ole Miss decided, I'm either going to let her continue to embarrass me, or I'm going to have some self-respect and kick her ass out the door and lock it behind her and not let her back in. And that, for me, is the right thing to do. Lane Kiffin had the right to leave. Yep. He chose to leave. I wish you the best of luck. Not really.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
You take a look at it, you say, all right, well, can they do this? But the one thing I know, every year I love the SEC championship game. Like this year, we're going to get a pretty good treat in the Big Ten because you have Indiana and Ohio State. But every single year, it's never like I don't have to watch that. Because the reason I bring that up is there's a game that's going to be on 8 o'clock that probably should just be played at midnight or 1 a.m. The ACC championship game. Like, things are not the same.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
It's stunning to think that, right? And I had the over on the win total or going into the year with the Patriots. It was 8.5. I thought they could win 10 games. They've already won 10 games. And that is a stunning turnaround, to go from worst to first here. And they're not the only team that could do it. The Jaguars could do it too. They are right on that precipice here if they handle their business against the Titans the next couple weeks and, at least split between the Indianapolis Colts those 2 games.
Fantasy sports today, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back. It is in-game live game day here on the grid. Scott and Gabe, hour number 1. So, great college basketball slate. It's goofy, ACC versus SEC, but you know what it does? It does create great basketball games. And in the long haul, does it really mean anything? In the end, it might push you over the top if you end up having a season that you're not expecting. And you don't get this in college football. So you do get it in college basketball, so you might as well enjoy it. Duke versus Florida, one of the many games tonight, Gabe, that is highlighted in the schedule tonight. 32-21. Hey, not gone the way Florida's anticipated or hoped, no doubt. 14.5 is the number.
These games, Scott, are actually used for and or against you in college basketball, right? There's so much talk about the college football playoffs right now, but college basketball, there's a lot of teams with this very similar records, and this stuff comes into play, right? Because pretty soon all we're going to have is conference play to hang our hats on. So then it gets into, well, you know what? This team played that team, and this team ran the table early, and that's why these coaches do it. You know what I mean? You really rack up those Sagarin ratings, right? And, the sort of net ratings and the quality of the strength of schedule and all that type of stuff. And it's not used against you like it is in college football either. Right? Like you can lose the first couple of games early in the year, and it's not used against you in the same way it is with college football. But these games do matter early in the season. Like some of these, it'll come into play for a couple of these teams. It's kind of like the Miamis and the Mississippi, Scott, of the world. It means more too, right?
Right.
It's not the end of the world for the Kansas Jayhawks tonight against UConn. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's not an SEC one. That's another good one, though, Scott. Yes. Yeah. That's rare.
It's more conference.
I'll tell you what. How many times have the Kansas Jayhawks been underdogs at the Allen Fieldhouse, man?
I know.
Not often. Not often.
Yeah. Peterson, the main guy's not playing again tonight. It'll be a 7th straight game, but still.
They're used to not playing with him. He's a freshman, Scott. He played like for a game and a half. Like, so it's not like, we're without our guy. He's never been there.
Yeah. And it's funny. I mean, listen, I know he came in with a whole lot of publicity. Don't get me wrong. I realize that. But it's like, do we really know? He averaged 21.5 points in the 2 games he's played. I get that. But you're right. It's not like they counted on this guy and he was the guy there for 10 games, we'll say. And then now he's missed, a couple. It's like he's, for the most part, never been there. And they've still won. I'll still take that. Plus, you want to give me 2.5, 1.5, whatever it ends up being, points at home. I understand that they're playing without their best player. I understand UConn is great. I do. And they're one team I don't mind betting on the road. But you know what? I'll take my chances. And if Kansas loses that home game, then so be it.
This isn't a typical road trip, though, for UConn, right? You're right. Like, UConn could go into Philadelphia and beat Villanova, we see, right? Like, they play on the East Coast. Right? They play on the East Coast. This is a little different. You're going into the Allen Fieldhouse here. You're not used to playing in this environment. It is a special place. And Kansas is pretty battle-tested so far this year. Like, they've taken on a lot of heavyweights already and on neutral court. So now they finally play. Peterson was supposed to play tonight. Like a lot of people thought that he was going to be back in the lineup, but it was funny because it went from, well, they don't have Peterson to, they need to integrate Peterson in the lineup, and how is this going to work out? And it turns out that he's not. He was like he was like I said, this morning they were thinking he might play. They decided to just hold him back just a little bit more, right? There's still a ton of college basketball left, guys. I wouldn't rush him back if I was them either.
Not with a hamstring injury. If it's an arm or shoulder or whatever, you blow out a hamstring, and then it's like, okay, you know what, you're lost for the season. You're right. You make 110%. In fact, when the doctor, I'm super conservative about this stuff. When a doctor tells me, all right, you know what, he's good to go, I say, all right, I'm going to send him out one more week. One more week. Why not? It's college basketball. We're getting to the NCAA tournament, and it's a hamstring injury. And if he's not, Doc, you know what? We're screwed for the rest of the season. So whatever it takes.
You need it for conference play, which is starting right now. As you say, look, Big Ten, it's kind of weird tonight, right? You got these interconference, you got this SEC, ACC thing. You've got these weird sort of heavyweight matchups, UConn and Kansas. And, Scott, I can't help but always just think, like, it still throws me off, Scott. Like, USC's at Oregon tonight. I'm like, oh, yeah, Pac-12 started, I guess. It's like, oh, no, it's a Big Ten matchup. It's a Big Ten game. It's a Big Ten game. So they said Purdue, Rutgers, but see, I see Purdue, Rutgers. I'm like, oh, yeah, Big Ten started. Then right at the bottom there's USC and Oregon. I'm like, all right, here we go. And I'm like, damn, man, so stupid that they're in the Big Ten. Like, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing here? But it is what it is.
Even Missouri versus Notre Dame, I'm reading ACC versus SEC. I'm like, what idiot wrote this right up? We talk about SEC, right? But no, Notre Dame is in the ACC in basketball.
Yeah,
and not in football, but in basketball it is. And then you got Missouri, obviously, in the SEC, which still is a little weird to me. So, yeah, it's... they'll
always be a Big 12 team to me, Scott.
Me too.
They'll always be. And think if you were Missouri, too, you could probably win the Big 12. Like, you'd be at the top of this. Like, you're really good, but you keep losing these close games in the SEC all the time. Right? But, hey, greed. These these institutions would rather make another, and not even that much more money. Like, they're willing to sell their soul for an extra, like, 10, 20 million a year type of deal, and not realizing, you're going to win a lot less games right now.
Right.
Like, if USC could redo this, I guarantee you they would not have busted up the Pac-12.
Yeah. I'll go old school and say Big 8. I still view them as the Big 8 with Oklahoma and Nebraska and Oklahoma State. Who are those other teams?
Yeah, that's
Texas
old
A&M,
school.
I think, was in there. That's
Yeah,
old
Texas
school.
A&M, yeah.
Yeah, I remember
The
that.
tearaway jersey days.
Yeah. You remember those? You're right. They would have these jerseys, so you can't rip at the jersey because they would have them.
They'd all show their midriff in those days, like all the college football players. They'd cut the jersey off right under the number. Right. And, it's like they barely wore knee pads, Scott. Remember, guys would have their knees exposed and have their pads up. But it was all in the Big 8. The Oklahoma was like kingpins on it. So basically, you'd grab the dude's jersey, and it would just fall apart. It would rip right off.
You know who did that in hockey? You know who did that in hockey? The first one that I remember is the dude from Buffalo, Ray, the goon up there.
Oh, yeah, he was. Yeah, he had all. He had all the he had all the tricks. He had all the tricks.
Stop that. Yeah. He's fighting someone. They're trying to rip at his jersey, and it just rips off. And meanwhile, he's just grabbing the other.
But
guy.
it's smart, like
not Rob Ray. What was his first?
It's sort of like Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan used to rip his shirt. He used to cut it first, right, so he wouldn't be embarrassed. But if you're a football player, it's smart. Cut it with some scissors, and when it gets touched, it falls apart.
Yeah.
But that's illegal in the NFL.
The play is Our Fam. You don't know about Our Fam? Go look her up on social media. Go look at YouTube. 19-year-old from Spain, 6'6", block shots, runs the floor, rebounds, post up, inside, outside, pop the corn, serve the beer, and it can clean up the mess when you're done eating your meal. This lady is absolutely fantastic.
Pro Basketball Today, only on SportsGrid.
Ole Miss got left at the altar, and Ole Miss decided, I'm either going to let her continue to embarrass me, or I'm going to have some self-respect and kick her ass out the door and lock it behind her and not let her back in. And that, for me, is the right thing to do. Lane Kiffin had the right to leave.
Yep.
He chose to leave. I wish you the best of luck. Not really.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
Take a look at it, you say, all right, well, can they do this? But the one thing I know, every year I love the SEC championship game. Like this year, we're going to get a pretty good treat in the Big Ten because you have Indiana and Ohio State. But every single year, it's never like I don't have to watch that. Because the reason I bring that up is there's a game that's going to be on 8 o'clock that probably should just be played at midnight or 1 a.m. The ACC championship game. Like, things are not the same.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
It's stunning to think that, right? And I had the over on the win total, or going into the year with the Patriots, was 8.5. I thought they could win 10 games. They've already won 10 games. And that is a stunning turnaround, to go from worst to first here. And they're not the only team that could do it. The Jaguars could do it too. They are right on that precipice here if they handle their business against the Titans the next couple weeks and, at least split between the Indianapolis Colts those two games.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
Welcome back in Game Live, Game Day here on the Grid. Scott and Gabe. We got college basketball, we got the college football rankings, NHL, NBA, and we got the poly market. This is what I'm looking for in these poly markets. We kind of talked about it last night. There was a little discrepancy, not much, nickel a dime. But listen, every point counts. I get that. But I found one tonight, and this is what I'm going to try and do. Whether I like the play or not, I'll just point it out, and you guys can pick if you want to bet it or not. Or predict it on Polymarket. So Polymarket this afternoon.com had Ohio State to win the national championship. Risk $100 to win 256 games. So you're getting 1.5 plus 150, right? Or plus 250. So on FanDuel anyway, the odds are only plus 185. You risk 100 to win 185.
Well, that's plus 156 though, the original one, the Polymarket one.
No, it says winning. So you're winning $256 on top of the 100 you're betting. FanDuel, you're only making $85. The FanDuel number includes your $100 bet.
You're saying the Polymarket one, it works out to plus 250 then.
Right. Yeah.
For Ohio State to win the national championship.
Ohio State to win the national championship. That's a big difference. You're putting up 100 to win 256 on this side. You're putting up 100 to win $185 on the other side. Now that's the kind of discrepancy I like.
Will they win the national championship is the question.
Well, that's the question. And then I'll just point out for the listener and the viewers, I'll point out the major discrepancies, and you guys, figure out if you think they're going to win or not. But that's what I kind of look for in this Polymarket stuff. I mean, that's a big difference. That's a huge difference.
That is a big difference. I was looking at the NBA MVPs on the markets today, and it actually paid a little less than some sports books did for SGA to win the MVP this year. So I was looking. College football is more debatable, right? There's going to be action in on certain teams more than others, but mine tonight will be in the crypto market / gold markets, in which it'll be what's going to be the first to $5,000, gold or the Ethereum coins. And I think this crypto stuff is about not to ultimately burst, but it's going in the wrong direction right now. And it's going in the wrong direction, and gold is just going up. The gold market, it's like it set an all-time record, right? It actually went up like nearly 60% and stuff. Like, so gold has just been scorching hot all year. It slowed down for a couple of weeks, basically about a month, and basically it turned out that Russia stockpiled so much gold over the years, Scott, but they need to fund their never-ending war in the Ukraine, so they unloaded a bunch of gold onto the market. Like, Russia's been flooding gold out there, and it actually, affected the price, right? Because it was like Russia's just selling so much of it, trying to raise money because they've been cut off with sanctions and all this. Long story short, gold is going to hit 5,000, I don't know, in 6 months type of deal. You know what I mean? By the end of next year, whatnot, 6 months, I figure you got to wait out. I don't think Ethereum is. Ethereum came in at 4,200 as well. That's why gold's at 42, Scott, 4,200, and this Ethereum coin's at 4,200. I say that gold gets to 5,000 first. $100 returns 166.
All right, that's not bad. I like that. I like that analysis. I think that's
bet on gold.
Well, yeah, it'll take its ups and its downs, but ultimately, gold is about as secure a bet as you could ever make, or investment, right? I mean, it's not going to go down that far.
I saw the head of Goldman Sachs or J.P. Morgan or one of these type of. And, they're going to be more anti-crypto, right? They're old school money types. Right. But I liked what one of them said. He goes, this crypto stuff's interesting, but he goes, I got a 3,000 year trend with gold. I'll stick with that. It's like gold's been around since day one, Scott. It ain't going anywhere. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
And you know what? I bought some dog coin a long time ago that I still have it. It's basically the same spot it's been in. It has, little up, little down, right? But it really hasn't, that cryptocurrency, as far as actual public using it and everything, it really hasn't made the impact I think they thought it might. You get a couple companies that will take it.
It's still an evolving market. You're right. It's still an evolving market. And it's late. People made money off it. It's too late now, right? Every Johnny come lately is buying these coins now. Everyone's creating their own coin and this. Like, people cashed in on the Bitcoin market to begin with. And I guess people will again, down the road. But I think that bubble is burst for the most part.
Yeah. All right, so a couple of prediction market plays for you, as we do every single night here on the grid. We'll check the lines when we come back.
The play is Our Fam. You don't know about Our Fam? Go look her up on social media. Go look at YouTube. 19-year-old from Spain, 6'6", block shots, runs the floor, rebounds, post up, inside, outside, pop the corn, serve the beer, and it can clean up the mess when you're done eating your meal. This lady is absolutely fantastic.
Pro basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
Ole Miss got left at the altar, and Ole Miss decided, I'm either going to let her continue to embarrass me, or I'm going to have some self-respect and kick her ass out the door and lock it behind her and not let her back in. And that, for me, is the right thing to do. Lane Kiffin had the right to leave.
Yep.
He chose to leave. I wish you the best of luck. Not really.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
You take a look at it, you say, all right, well, can they do this? But the one thing I know, every year I love the SEC championship game. Like this year, we're going to get a pretty good treat in the Big Ten because you have Indiana and Ohio State. But every single year, it's never like I don't have to watch that, because the reason I bring that up is there's a game that's going to be on 8 o'clock that probably should just be played at midnight or 1 a.m. The ACC championship game. Like, things are not the same.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
It's stunning to think that, right? And I had the over on the win total, or going into the year with the Patriots, was 8.5. I thought they could win 10 games. They've already won 10 games. And that is a stunning turnaround, to go from worst to first here. And they're not the only team that could do it. The Jaguars could do it too. They are right on that precipice here if they handle their business against the Titans the next couple weeks and, at least split between the Indianapolis Colts those two games.
Fantasy sports today, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back. In-game live, game day here on the grid. Hour number 1, midway through. We got the coach coming up in about 10 minutes. We'll do some college basketball, some NBA with him. So why don't we take a peek at the hockey on this hour? The New York Ranger home game, right? Automatic underplay. I mean, they're 10-2 under at home. They don't score. Tonight they got 1 goal. Late second period against Dallas. It is 1-1. Over-under is down to 4.5. Surprisingly, maybe not surprising, but surprisingly enough, it's over-juiced, minus 168 to the over if you want that. Islanders 1-0 over Tampa Bay. A lot of goals in Ottawa, Montreal. I played the over in that one. It was 6.5. Don't like playing over 6.5, but I did. It's 4-2 game with that
Montreal,
one.
an over machine. Montreal is just an absolute over machine. So are the Vancouver Canucks that are coming up later against the Colorado Avalanche. Leafs playing the Panthers for the first time this year since the playoff elimination last year. And, it looks like the Leafs are starting to get something going. They needed to hit rock bottom, basically, but they played better over the last couple of games. Now they're leading 2-0 over the Panthers right now. Preds up early, 1-0 on the Flames. I didn't play the early stuff, Scott. I'm going to jump in. With the late slate of NHL games, but the early games, nothing jumped off the screen at me.
All right. Yeah, I played the under in the Dallas Ranger game. I took a flyer on the Bruins, but it seems like they're starting to come back to the pack here. They were monster dogs tonight. I just didn't think they deserved to be that big of dogs, but they're down 4-2. So maybe their nice little run is ending here. That's one of my systems of mine, Gabe. I like betting on. I forgot about that. I didn't realize. I forgot this was, or didn't realize that Toronto was playing Florida for the first time. I love betting on teams that face clubs for the first time. and really the entire season, depending on how far into the playoffs it is, that eliminated them the year before. Just, with these NBA and NHL seasons being so long, you look for a reason for one team to maybe get up for a regular season game more than the other. And that's it for a lot of teams. You guys eliminated us the year before. We just had that extra chip on our shoulder.
Well, we saw the Oilers.
But it was a good one.
We saw the Oilers beat the Panthers the other night, too.
Yep.
Right? Yep. And they lost to the Panthers. That's the thing. When you win the Cup 2 years in a row, there's going to be a lot of teams that don't like you. There's going to be a lot of teams that, that you beat along the way that are better than you now. And they'll be like, oh, yeah, okay. And, this is a big game tonight, actually, Scott, for these teams. It's sort of getting late early. It kind of feels like, the NHL season just started. It's like the Bruins, Scott, this is their 28th game tonight.
Yeah.
Then we're cruising along here. This season's moving along. I mean, next thing we know, guys, it's going to be Christmas, then the Olympic break, and then we come out of the Olympic break, and it's going to be like this mad sprint to the finish line. So the standings are starting to matter a little bit, and you look at the Eastern Conference, Scott. The Toronto Maple Leafs are dead last. And they're dead last with the Florida Panthers. Yeah, so the winner of this game can sort of say, okay, all right, we're out of this dead last type thing. And now we got to sort of systematically catch up to teams. They're only a point behind the Sabres. Then they're only 2 points behind the Rangers. They're only 2 points behind the Red Wings. But there's a lot of teams ahead of the Leafs, so they better start winning games. And if you're Florida, we keep on waiting. Well, Florida going to start off slow this year. They've won 2 cups. They played in a cup the year before, 3 cups in a row. They don't have, Barkov. They don't have Kachuk. But they'll be fine, and they'll flick the switch later in the season. They might be so far out of it, Scott, there'll be no switch to flick. They're in last place in the effing conference. And you and I talk about it. Hockey is the toughest sport to gain ground. Teams lose in overtime. They get a point. It's really hard to, fall behind and catch up in the NHL.
Yeah. It's not like in baseball where you could be 4 back and then just have a 4-game series with that team and boom, okay, you can pick up a bunch of,
Teams in baseball don't get credit for half a win, Scott, for losing an extra innings.
That's the problem. Yeah, that's the problem.
And teams start playing for it. That's why it sucks. It's almost like soccer. You watch the last 5 minutes of an NHL game, neither team is trying to score anymore. They're like, whatever, man. We'll go to overtime. We'll both get the point. Whatever happens. It's almost like a handshake agreement. The coaches kind of look at each other and all right, let's just both get the point and see what happens in a shootout.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why I don't like that. I still don't like that, the losing team getting 1 point. I know why they do it. Maybe I don't know why they do it. That's, you know what? If you got to a shootout, then maybe,
what they should do, Scott.
But not the overtime.
If you want to do this, fine. I get it. You want to give a team a point, but go to a 3-2-1 system. Go to a 3-2-1 system. 3 points for a regulation win. 2 points for an overtime shootout win. One, you got 1 point for losing. Right? Go to a 3-2-1. It'll make them more sense. But the NHL doesn't want to do it because they think it won't look good if you look at the standings on the page that the teams are going to have 148 points and stuff like that. But really, that's your reason for not doing it?
Right.
It's dumb. Right? Yeah. It's just point blank, it's dumb.
I never thought about that. I would like that. You got to separate the regulation win. Give
the incentive, Scott, to win the regulation. Yeah, we got the 3 points for regulation.
Yeah. Versus with 8 minutes left and both teams calling off the dogs and just saying, all right, you know what? We're going to stay in our zone. We're not going to take any chances. We'll go to overtime. We'll automatically get a point. And we're only going to get the 2 points anyway.
They won't do it. They won't. They won't change it. The players don't like the 3-on-3. The league doesn't care. The players don't like the playoff format. The players every year basically tell them we should go to a 1-8. This is ridiculous playing the same teams every year. It is. Right? I can tell you the playoffs are right now. I mean, it's the same teams play each other all the time. So basically, Tampa plays it makes no sense whatsoever. You have the number 1 and number 2 team in the division play each other in the first round, Scott. That makes sense.
Yeah. It's crazy. They changed over the years so many times. I'm surprised. It's been a little while since they've actually changed. I will say that, though. But there was a stretch where they were changing like every other year. The Smite divisions and all that other
confusing.
stuff.
Yeah, it's like the NBA All-Star game. It's like you're right. Every year is sort of this new, and you sort of get desensitized to it. Yeah. This one's confusing as hell, though. Like this, their format now is confusing. So what's the top 3 teams in a division? Right. And then the wild cards. Like what?
And then the wild cards. Yeah. Then the 2 next highest.
Like, everybody knows that, Scott, for every league. Like, just the casual looking at the standings. It's like, you don't know that? It's the top 3 teams and the last 2 wild card teams. It's like, what does this mean? Like, it's just dumb. It's just dumb.
2 things the average sports fan cannot give you the answer to: the NHL playoff format and NBA divisions. You can get them some of the best NBA fans.
That's a good point.
You can't tell me which.
You ask the team, what division are the Atlanta Hawks in? Yeah, what division are the Raptors in?
No, Eastern Conference.
The Atlantic. Right? I know the Central and the Atlantic, but I know. Yeah.
It's just
no one
cares. You don't see them in the newspapers.
You're right.
Yeah, nobody cares.
You're right. No one cares.
It's just
no one ever says. You ever think too? They're division champs. Nobody cares in the NBA or NHL. You won the Pacific Division. I don't care. So what? No one cares.
Yeah.
It's only in football they hype that up. The AFC East champ.
Yeah. It is weird. Only in football. Football again, dominates once again. So somehow or another they get their word out there.
No, you're right. Yeah. Nobody even talks about seriously betting. No one ever talks about I'm going to bet this team to win the NBA division.
Yeah.
Like division futures rarely talked about in an NBA term.
Yeah. I don't even know if Pat Foster, our resident NBA geek, I don't even know if Pat knows all the divisions. That's how obscure these divisions are. And he can give you the backup center on the Utah Jazz.
Well, how about this one? Can you name the NHL divisions now? Because everyone grew up with the old Smythe, Adams, and stuff.
Norris, Adams,
they created these new ones, right? The Metropolitan. What the hell is that?
Yeah,
I gotta go back and take a
peek. Yeah, I got to go back and take a peek and see every once in a while. It's not easy. It's tough.
And the NHL too. They got 10 teams in these divisions too. So it's just freaking stacked.
Yeah. All right, Coach Shelf coming up next.
The play is Our Fam. You don't know about Our Fam? Go look her up on social media. Go look at YouTube. 19-year-old from Spain, 6'6", block shots, runs the floor, rebounds, post up, inside, outside, pop the corn, serve the beer, and it can clean up the mess when you're done eating your meal. This lady is absolutely fantastic.
Pro basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
Ole Miss got left at the altar, and Ole Miss decided I'm either going to let her continue to embarrass me or I'm going to have some self-respect and kick her ass out the door and lock it behind her and not let her back in. And that, for me, is the right thing to do. Lane Kiffin had the right to leave.
Yep.
He chose to leave. I wish you the best of luck. Not really.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
You take a look at it, you say, all right, well, can they do this? But the one thing I know, every year I love the SEC championship game. Like this year, we're going to get a pretty good treat in the Big Ten because you have Indiana and Ohio State. But every single year, it's never like I don't have to watch that. Because the reason I bring that up is there's a game that's going to be on 8 o'clock that probably should just be played at midnight or 1 a.m. The ACC championship game. Like, things are not the same.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
It's stunning to think that, right? And I had the over on the win total, or going into the year with the Patriots, was 8.5. I thought they could win 10 games. They've already won 10 games. And that is a stunning turnaround, to go from worst to first here. And they're not the only team that could do it. The Jaguars could do it too. They are right on that precipice here if they handle their business against the Titans the next couple weeks and, at least split between the Indianapolis Colts, those 2 games.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. Scott and Gabe, we got a full slate of action tonight, so let us bring in the coach, Mr. James Young, our basketball analyst here at SportsGrid. Talk a little NBA, little college basketball with him as well. Coach, you know what? We'll start in the NBA because you're on our side on this one. I know one of your plays, the San Antonio Spurs. Are they not?
Listen, they should cover tonight this game. I know there's no Wembanyama tonight and no Stephon Castle, but there's a litany of injuries, including John Moran on the other side. I know the Grizzlies have won 3 games in a row, guys, but I'm not trusting it. Look at the team. They played, I think, 3 of the worst teams in the Western Conference on that 3-game winning streak. So I'm not trusting them. A Spurs team that's 5-2 against the spread their last 7 games. Give me the Spurs minus the points tonight as they're tied, I think, early second quarter.
Little higher scoring that I would like. I played the under 232.5 as well as the Spurs, Coach. So as you stated, 36-36 right now, early in the second quarter, in-game total, 235.5. I played De'Aaron Fox tonight, Coach. De'Aaron Fox has been lighting it up without Wembanyama, without Castle in the lineup. He's averaging 26 points a game. We went De'Aaron Fox over 24.5 in this one.
Yeah, I mean, right now, obviously De'Aaron Fox only 3 points, 10 points for Harrison Barnes, and he should be able to get to his spots. Okay, I've thought about this for a long time as being a coach. I actually think in my heart of hearts, when stars are out, you look at the over, not the under. Here's why. Everybody in the NBA can play. They can score. Otherwise, you wouldn't be in the league. Why don't a lot of these guys play? Because they can't guard.
They can't play defense.
Can't play defense. And especially you look at the rim protection of what Wembanyama brings being out of the lineup, right? So, no offense, I know Scott Whistle's guy, but, Luke Cornett is not really striking fear into my heart driving the ball to the basket, if you know what I'm saying. So, to me,
But where are the points coming from Memphis? I'm surprised they've scored this many points tonight.
Well, listen, if you look at it, Jalen Wells had a really good rookie year before he got hurt. And then you look at Zach Edey, 7 points early on in the
his prop was 13.5. He scored 32 the other night. It was only 13.5 tonight.
Listen, he's a big boy. He's a big boy. That's a big guy to guard down there in the low block. And he's mean. And like I said, I'm going to repeat myself. Luke Cornett is not really striking fear into my heart if I'm Zach Edey.
All right, you're on the side. Gabe and I split. You're on the right side with Gabe, at least apparently. Right now, anyway. Knicks up 11 against my Celtics, 34-23, Coach. Now they're getting 7.5. Any play there?
Yeah, I looked at Mitchell Robinson's rebound prop. Mitchell Robinson, I think we talked about this last time. Mitchell Robinson gets insane amount of rebounds for a guy who doesn't play a lot of minutes. So I like this rebound prop. I think it was about 7.5 usually hanging around. He has 4 rebounds in 5 minutes. The guy literally averages almost a rebound a minute. So last game, I think he had 17 minutes and had 15 rebounds. So always look at his rebound prop. But for the Knicks game, I went for the Knicks on the money line. I thought it was a short spread. I look at this Boston team. They are playing better basketball, but it seemed like to me the Knicks are starting to get going a little bit. And to me, the only time the Knicks don't play well or the Cavs doesn't play well is when he's going against Giannis Antetokounmpo. And tonight, Karl Anthony Towns, 10 points, 4 of 6 from the floor. So he don't see Giannis. He actually will probably score and maybe get a double-double.
I hate to bring up this social media stuff. Actually, you know what? I want to get it on Josh Hart, and I'm kicking myself, Coach. Josh Hart's been balling lately offensively, right? He's been putting up big numbers already with 11 points right now. But you see Giannis, for whatever reason, he scratched all his Milwaukee Bucks stuff from all his social media today.
Oh, brother.
The only pictures he left up is him holding the trophy. But, it doesn't say Milwaukee Bucks. He scratched everything, Instagram, Twitter, every social media. He went out of his way to delete anything that said Milwaukee Bucks on it.
We listen, Gabe, are we surprised? I don't know about you.
I never thought this guy would turn into a diva, Coach, but here we are. Yeah.
Oh, he's been a diva for years.
Yeah, getting coaches fired. I know.
Fired, getting guys traded, he's been a diva.
Signing his brothers. It's he bitches about his team. It's like, bro, we're taking up roster spots with your brother, Scott. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you're bitching at us?
And I think the thing is this: if we're going to talk about nepotism and we're talking about taking care of your family, how does and listen? I'm not the biggest fan about LeBron did with his son, but why does LeBron get all this smoke, but he doesn't? He's taking 10,000 spots.
Hey, I gotta ask you though, Coach. And I don't know if you saw this last night, Scott. I know JJ and Braun are buddies. They're coming out of a timeout. They called a play for LeBron. LeBron was too busy talking to the Suns bench in the corner. And JJ Redick's like, Braun, he's yelling at him like, hey, the play is on and we're about to, and Braun had to call a timeout after. Like, JJ was like very upset. Not a good look for LeBron last night, Coach. And remember, Scott, we talked about it. Man, Luka's going off, Coach, every night for like 50, 38, this and that. LeBron's got 4 points in the first half. It's like, all right, Luka's going off. It doesn't help anyone else on the Lakers, Coach. What do you think about all that stuff with LeBron now?
But I'm going to say this. If the Lakers are going to be the best version of themselves, LeBron cannot be a 25-point-a-game guy. I'm going to say this, and I know this is going to hurt people who love LeBron. The best scorer in the
team.
So
it's got to be Austin Reeves? So Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves?
It's those two got to be your 1-2 punch. DeAndre Ayton can give you 14 and 10, 15 and 10. And LeBron's got to take what I think is what I call the Cooper flag approach. Being a chameleon. If there's a night you may have to get 30, maybe get 30. If there's a night you have to give me 10 assists, give me 10 assists. If there's a night you give me 10 rebounds, give me 10 rebounds. Be a chameleon. Because right now, LeBron is not the guy. And the sooner that he realizes
he's standing around, Coach. You're right. He's not fitting in, really. Yeah. He's a lot of standing around.
Well, listen, I think it's going to end badly. I just have this feeling. I don't know if it's going to be free agency or whatever, but watch this end badly because it's going to be a couple of guys. Him and the other guy is Trae Young. Check your ego at the door, do what's best for the team, and help your team win.
All right, take a break. We'll come back. We'll get some college basketball with it from the coach here on the Grid.
The play is our fam. You don't know about our fam? Go look her up on social media. Go look at YouTube. 19-year-old from Spain, 6'6", block shots, runs the floor, rebounds, post up, inside, outside, pop the corn, serve the beer, and it can clean up the mess when you're done eating your meal. This lady is absolutely fantastic.
Pro basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
Ole Miss got left at the altar. And Ole Miss decided, I'm either going to let her continue to embarrass me or I'm going to have some self-respect and kick her ass out the door and lock it behind her and not let her back in. And that, for me, is the right thing to do. Lane Kiffin had the right to leave. Yep. He chose to leave. I wish you the best of luck. Not really.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
You take a look at it, you say, all right, well, can they do this? But the one thing I know, every year I love the SEC championship game. Like this year, we're going to get a pretty good treat in the Big Ten because you have Indiana and Ohio State. But every single year, it's never like I don't have to watch that. Because the reason I bring that up is there's a game that's going to be on 8 o'clock that probably should just be played at midnight or 1 a.m. The ACC championship game. Like, things are not the same.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
It's stunning to think that, right? And I had the over on the win total or going into the year with the Patriots. It was 8.5. I thought they could win 10 games. They've already won 10 games. And that is a stunning turnaround, to go from worst to first here. And they're not the only team that could do it. The Jaguars could do it too. They are right on that precipice here if they handle their business against the Titans the next couple weeks and, at least split between the Indianapolis Colts those two games.
Fantasy sports today, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. Scott and Gabe talking with the coach to close out hour number one. Let's switch it over to college basketball. Great slate of games, coach, on the schedule tonight, including the Dookie Pukies at home against your defending champ, Florida. Not been a great season for the Gators, that's for sure. And they're trailing again tonight. Not as bad as they were, 40-34 now. So it's back to the 8.5 it was to basically start the game, depending on where you did your shopping. Where were you on this one? And more importantly, where would you be now?
I like Duke minus the points, and then obviously what you were looking for is for what, in my opinion, Cameron Boozer going against that front line of Chenalou, Howe, and Condon. Oh, well, so 15 minutes left to go in the second half, and Cam Boozer's got 16 points already. I mean, this kid, I call him the Bruiser, and I have been so impressed about these guys and how they play. The problem I have with Florida, honestly, is they went with this 2-point guard system with Boogie Flan and Xavier Lee. Xavier Lee, the transfer from Princeton, who got a boatload of money to go to pick them over St. John's, is shooting, ready for this, 26.7% from the floor and 21.6% from three. Yikes. That's what happens sometimes when these guys go from, low to mid-major to power. Yep. That game gets bigger, and it's funny. I remember talking.
That's the difference with Michigan, coach. You know what I mean? We talk about Michigan. Look at the last couple of years. Michigan kept on getting point guards from the Ivy League, and it just wasn't good enough, right? It just wasn't good enough.
Those are grown men. It's funny. I was talking to a friend of mine as a women's coach, and they even said it in the men's and the women's league. If you are not athletically gifted at the guard spot, you can't compete in the SEC. You just can't. Look at Holloway and Phelan, obviously at Alabama. Like you gotta have dudes. Like you gotta be athletic. You gotta be big. You gotta be able to do and score off the bounce. And this is just a different kind of thing for Xavier Lee, and the kid's struggling.
What about UConn tonight, Coach? We were talking about Kansas never being a home underdog. Getting 2.5 right now with the Kansas Jayhawks on their home court, Coach, against the UConn Huskies.
Listen, I look at this game, and I look at UConn and the fact that UConn, obviously rebounded after their loss to Arizona with 2 wins, including a good win by 13 at home versus Illinois. I will say this. I don't know what we're going to get out of Kansas without Darren Peterson. I don't know. I don't know how much they're going to be able to score. And if you look at both teams have challenged themselves. I'm taking my chances on the team. I think the better defensive team. I think the team has more offensively diverse. Give me UConn on the money line to win tonight in Fog Allen.
They are 5-1 without him. Their only loss being to the Dookie Pukies, so they have had some success with him. So, but okay, I don't like going against Kansas at home. How about Kentucky at home, laying 6.5 to North Carolina, over under 164.5?
I'm looking at Caleb Wilson. I'm looking at that star guard out of North Carolina, who's getting you about 20 and 10 a night. But if you really look at this team, Kentucky is funny. We were talking during the break about the
big game for them, Coach. Remember Michigan State messed them up. They went to Louisville and got messed up. Pope's got to win a game, man.
I'm going to tell you this right now. When you got these teams in this situation, take the team with a little bit more camaraderie. Take the team that's a little bit more gelled. That actually may be Carolina. If you really look at it, listen, $23 million is $23 million, and that's the roster for Kentucky. But guys, we're still talking about kids. We're still talking about kids. So to me, I'm going to take the points.
That's more than Carolina. MLS teams. I follow MLS. Like the Whitecaps salary is like $18 million.
The WNBA girls, they're like
you can buy the league.
I mean, are there that many boosters that just are that rich?
Yes.
They're not psychotic, Scott.
Hey, listen,
you know what it is in Kentucky? It really is like farmers giving $10 and $20. It's like this grassroots, man. It's not just big boosters. The entire damn state, they live and die with us. It's like
horse
Mississippi
racing.
football. They were talking about Mississippi, like the NIL money, like Rebel fans, Scott, giving $50, and it just all adds up and stuff like that. They live and die with that stuff there.
It's horse racing money, and then it's oil money in Texas. Buckle up.
Yeah. Coach, good
Texas
job, man.
Tech oil
Appreciate
money.
it.
The play is Our Fam. You don't know about Our Fam? Go look her up on social media. Go look at YouTube. 19-year-old from Spain, 6'6", block shots, runs the floor, rebounds, post up, inside, outside, pop the corn, serve the beer, and it can clean up the mess when you're done eating your meal. This lady is absolutely fantastic.
Pro basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
Ole Miss got left at the altar, and Ole Miss decided, I'm either going to let her continue to embarrass me, or I'm going to have some self-respect and kick her ass out the door and lock it behind her and not let her back in. And that, for me, is the right thing to do. Lane Kiffin had the right to leave.
Yep.
He chose to leave. I wish you the best of luck. Not really.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
You take a look at it, you say, all right, well, can they do this? But the one thing I know, every year I love the SEC championship game. Like this year, we're going to get a pretty good treat in the Big Ten because you have Indiana and Ohio State. But every single year, it's never like I don't have to watch that. Because the reason I bring that up is there's a game that's going to be on 8 o'clock that probably should just be played at midnight or 1 a.m. The ACC championship game. Like, things are not the same.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
It's stunning to think that, right? And I had the over on the win total, or going into the year with the Patriots, it was 8.5. I thought they could win 10 games. They've already won 10 games. And that is a stunning turnaround, to go from worst to first here. And they're not the only team that could do it. The Jaguars could do it too. They are right on that precipice here if they handle their business against the Titans the next couple weeks and, at least split between the Indianapolis Colts those two games.
Fantasy sports today, only on SportsGrid.
And welcome back in Game Live, Game Day here on the grid. Thanks to the coach, James Young, joining us last hour. We got Colby Dant to do a little college basketball, a little college football with him at the bottom of this hour. But before we get to it all, let's do our late night pickoff. We had our opening pickoff. We do a late night pickoff certain days. I'll go first here. Game college basketball. It's a big number, but I'm going to do it just the same. Give me Creighton laying 18.5 against Nichols. Nichols sucks. How bad? First off, they haven't had a home game. They've played 7 straight road games. They've lost them all, 4 of the 6 by double digits. Creighton at home is terrific. It's a big number, 18.5. We laid the big number with Purdue, and they're up 13 at the half. We'll do the same thing here with Creighton. Give me the Blue Jays minus 18.5 against 0-6 Nichols.
I'm going to take the Kansas Jayhawks. Rock, chalk, Jayhawk getting 2.5 on their home court tonight against the visiting UConn Huskies. Listen, I know UConn are one of the best teams in the country, and they're top 15 in defensive efficiency, and Kansas are not. Yes, Peterson isn't playing tonight, but Kansas have battled without Peterson. Peterson's a stud that's played like 2 games for them, so they're used to playing without him. I think the home court's going to be a difference. This game comes down to the wire. And I'm getting 2.5 free points with Kansas on their home court. I'm taking them. Give me the Jayhawks tonight.
All right, pick number 2 for me. Let's do a little hockey. Don't do this too often, but I will tonight with Colorado. I'm going to lay the goal and a half, minus 142 against Vancouver. They got 18 wins, Colorado, 14 of the 18, so all but 4 have come by 2 goals or more. They're at home. They haven't lost a game at home in regulation. They're 10-2 with the 2 losses being in a shootout or overtime. Vancouver's awful, so give me Colorado laying a goal and a half, minus 142. That's actually not that bad.
Vancouver, for whatever reason, it should be noted, have beaten the Colorado Avalanche 3 of the last 4 times that they played. And they played earlier this year, and it was a 5-4 game in overtime. Vancouver have a weird tendency of playing well against good teams and then losing against bad teams. That's what the Canucks do. So I'm just giving you a little warning, Scott. I don't think it's going to be a rout this game. The Canucks are going to surprise you here. So there's been a lot of talk about Ole Miss and obviously the Lane Kiffin situation. For the record, Charlie Weiss, kind of strange. He's going to LSU, but he's going to coach. Lane Kiffin isn't, but the offensive coordinator will coach in the playoffs with Ole Miss. But speaking of Ole Miss, give me Ole Miss tonight on the hardwood. They have a basketball team too, people, not just a football team, and they're pretty good. And it's one of the hardest places to win. They're a great home team. You look at the Miami Hurricanes, they really haven't played anybody yet this year. This is a tough road trip for Miami, going into the South to play against Ole Miss. Give me Ole Miss minus the 3, but it's down to minus 140 on the money line right now. So your choice whether you want to do the 40 cents or the 3 points on the spread.
All right. Little value pick here, which I don't like doing too often, but I think it's going to come through. So, and that's Minnesota getting plus 125 or so against the Edmonton Oilers. It's a road game for Minnesota, but that's okay. They're playing great hockey. They're 7-1 their last 8. They're 11-4 against Edmonton their last 15 meetings. So even when Edmonton is playing well, Minnesota, for whatever reason, beats them. And we know Edmonton is not playing well. Whether next to last place, third from the bottom, playing awful hockey. And I got a team that's playing great hockey. So give me Minnesota plus money at Edmonton tonight.
I'm going to get into the NHL as well. Scott mentioned the Colorado Avalanche and the Vancouver Canucks. They're getting ready to drop the puck. Listen, the Avalanche literally are on a record-setting pace. Like they're playing some of the best hockey in the history of the National Hockey League so far to start the year. Vancouver are very, very bad defensively, and they give up 1 million shots on goal. Their games go over the number basically every night. And you look at the Colorado Avalanche, 14-10 to the over on the season in the first period of play. The Vancouver Canucks 13-12-1. Surprisingly, the Canucks games kind of open up as they go on. But with all that being stated, I'm going over 1.5 in the first period. Vancouver, Colorado. I wouldn't be surprised if it's like 3-1 Colorado after the first period.
All right. Let's hope so. With that Colorado lay to goal and a half I have, I'm going to use that game as far as the shots on goal parlay. We're going to use Nathan McKinnon 3 shots on goal or more. Now his real number is 4.5. Not even 3. It's 4.5. I mean it's crazy. So we're only going to ask him to get 3. It's minus 320, but we're going to put him in a parlay with Jack Eichel. 3 or more. He's minus 225. You put it in a parlay, it pays just under even money. It's not quite even money, but Colorado's, he's going to get 3. There's no two ways about that. I mean, count on one hand in a season, he doesn't get at least 3 shots on goal. It's all about Eichel. He averages over 3. They're playing the Blackhawks at home. They're struggling. They need to turn things around here a little bit, and Chicago gives up the 5th most shots on goal per game. So Eichel, McKinnon, parlay, almost even money.
This is one of these games tonight, and my last pick will be this hockey game. I don't understand this number, but I do in the sense that me and Scott talk about this all the time. The sports books don't really adjust the National Hockey League preseason rankings that quickly, right? So they've got Vegas as some sort of powerhouse when they're not, right? They've lost 4 of their last 5 hockey games. Vegas have been struggling. And Chicago playing really well. Chicago hit a little bit of a wall. They've also lost like 4 of their last 5. They're coming off a win right now, but I just don't see why Vegas should be a minus 290 favorite. I think this game is going to be close. I wouldn't be surprised if this game went to overtime. Give me the Chicago Blackhawks plus 1.5 goals, minus 110.
Yeah. All right. I like that. Yeah. Look at last night, Gabe. Both Anaheim, road dogs, big road dogs, not just like plus 115 or so. They were like 130 or so at St. Louis. They win easily. And then San Jose, we talked about it. We're home dogs again, plus 130, 135 or so against a bad Utah team, or at least a struggling Utah team. And both those teams won. And yet next time, Anaheim is going to be a dog again, and San Jose is going to be a dog again, when in reality, Anaheim's in first place, and San Jose's playing 500 hockey. They're not the same god-awful team they were last year. You're right. They don't adjust these lines in hockey. It's amazing.
And look at the Chicago Blackhawks. They're 11-9-5 on the season, and Vegas are 11-6-8. The Chicago Blackhawks are 20-5 on the puck line, guys. 20-5. Vegas are 7-18 on the puck line. So you're telling me Vegas should be a minus 290 favorite in this game? They're equal teams, essentially, right? Vegas is sort of underachieving. Chicago's overachieving, but they're equal teams. And I just, why are Vegas are just, they're lined on reputation here, Scott. Point blank. Yeah. This isn't, this isn't a Stanley Cup caliber team, Vegas, right now.
Yeah. We're at the point of the season, as we talked, we're about a third of the way in, right? And I'm now kind of at that point where I'm not betting Florida when they're minus 140 at home because it's Florida. What am I? They're giving us a gift. Listen, Florida's in next to last place. They're tied for last place if you want to go points-wise, one less game played than Toronto. Are they a last-place team? No, but they're not the champs. Edmonton is struggling. They're not the same team. Vegas, same thing, struggling. I got to see these teams, kind of break out of the funk they've been in, and I'm sure they will. But I'm done thinking, wow, I'm getting a great gift with these good teams, laying $140, $150 even at home when it really should be, close to
Edmonton's an interesting game tonight. They're back home once again. They're coming off the win. Yeah. They got the win against Seattle. But the last time they played at home, Scott, they got lit up 8-3 to Dallas. They haven't been at home since.
Right.
So they've only played one road game. It hasn't been pretty for them, like at home. Right, so they're coming off a win right now. The Sharks are out literally and figuratively. People want blood in Edmonton right now. They've got to start to string together some wins, and it won't be easy because the Minnesota Wild are a good team.
Yeah. Well, they played a lot of road games, Edmonton. I'm looking at it now. They've only played 9 home games. They played a gazillion on the road. So maybe that's what they need. But I got to see them win at least 2.
They are 5-2-2 at home. They are a good home team, so they should start to rack up some W's at home. But they still have the same fundamental problems, whether you're on the road or at home, right?
Right. But hockey standings are a little. It all depends on how you look at it. Like 5-2-2 sounds pretty good, but in reality, that's 5-4. If you're betting them to win the game, they've lost 4 times at home ice. So, and you're laying monster odds generally with them. In-game live, we'll check out some of the other numbers when we come back here in the grid.
The play is Our Fam. You don't know about Our Fam? Go look her up on social media. Go look at YouTube. 19-year-old from Spain. 6'6", block shots, runs the floor, rebounds, post up, inside, outside, pop the corn, serve the beer, and it can clean up the mess when you're done eating your meal. This lady is absolutely fantastic.
Pro basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
Ole Miss got left at the altar, and Ole Miss decided, I'm either going to let her continue to embarrass me or I'm going to have some self-respect and kick her ass out the door and lock it behind her and not let her back in. And that, for me, is the right thing to do. Lane Kiffin had the right to leave. Yep. He chose to leave. I wish you the best of luck. Not really.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
You take a look at it, you say, all right, well, can they do this? But the one thing I know, every year I love the SEC championship game. Like this year, we're going to get a pretty good treat in the Big Ten because you have Indiana and Ohio State. But every single year, it's never like I don't have to watch that. Because the reason I bring that up is there's a game that's going to be on 8 o'clock that probably should just be played at midnight or 1 a.m. The ACC championship game. Like, things are not the same.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
It's stunning to think that, right? And I had the over on the win total or going into the year with the Patriots was 8.5. I thought they could win 10 games. They've already won 10 games. And that is a stunning turnaround, to go from worst to first here. And they're not the only team that could do it. The Jaguars could do it too. They are right on that precipice here if they handle their business against the Titans the next couple weeks and, at least split between the Indianapolis Colts those 2 games.
Fantasy sports today, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live, Game Day here on the Grid. Scott and Gabe checking out just about everything. Wanted to throw this out to the coach, but time flies when we have him on. There's so many things, with college basketball and college and NBA game. But I'll throw this out to you. They offer up on FanDuel over-unders on win totals, which is a pretty good job. You can continue to bet this stuff. So, and they offer up, will OKC set some NBA records? I'll go low. I'll start with the first one. Their win total right now is 69.5. They're 20-1, which means they would have to go, 40 and 10 the rest of the way in order to go over the 59.5 or 69.5. Are they going to go 50 and 10? 50. Oh, no, wait a minute. Are they going to get to 60 wins when they have 20 already? With 40, let's say they'd have to. Are they going to lose 10 times? I don't think so. 11 times the rest of the way.
Well, so pretty much is like the record, right? I mean, they're gunning for this.
Yeah,
no, I don't think they will. I think they're going to set the record.
Really? Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
I think they're going to set the record. I don't think they're going to lose too many times this year. They're going to get Williams back. You know what's wild about Oklahoma City? They could have 2 top 10 picks in this year's draft as well. It's pretty wild. They have the Clippers draft pick, Scott. They have the Clippers draft pick from the SGA deal still.
Wow.
And the Clippers are terrible.
Wow.
And they have the Pelicans or the Utah Jazz's pick, but it's top 8 protected. So, you know what I mean? But still, dude, they're going to have 2 more, they're just going to keep stockpiling this team as we go on. But yeah, I think they're going to break the record, Scott. I think the Oklahoma City are going to break the record. I think SGA is going to win the MVP as well. It's a 3-horse race for the MVP. So look, it's Jokic, Luka. The Lakers are going to start to lose games. The season goes on, and Luka puts up numbers, but they're not going to win. Doncic, we talked about it last night. They lose. They don't dominate, right? They're really good, and they're probably the best team, to challenge Oklahoma City in a 7-game series in the Western Conference. But ultimately, they're playing Golden State tonight, and we're going to see Oklahoma City. Who are they going to lose to? SGA, they're just going to terrorize teams all year. They're going to have the best record. SGA is going to put up the most points. I don't see how he doesn't win the MVP. And yeah, I would go over the numbers, Scott. I think they do break the record.
Yeah. If you want to say over the 69.5, that's basically an even normal bet. 74 wins, which would set the record. The FanDuel, anyways, giving you plus 580. If you want to bump it up to 75, and think about that for a second, it would be plus 880. I mean, I could see them getting to 74 and just, okay, we're going to rest. We got the playoffs, and I think they would still win. But, yeah, FanDuel, if you think they're going to set the record, and I do too, because somewhere along the line, that's going to be their goal. Maybe it is already, but people are going to start talking about it. And if they take things that much more seriously, who's beating them? I mean, they're 20-1. I mean, nobody.
Yeah, that's the thing, Scott. They could get to 40-4 or something like that, and it might get to the point where it's they're gonna have a little wiggle room, even. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the thing. They just keep racking up these wins, and don't forget we got this NBA Cup stuff coming up. They want to win it. I saw them. Yeah. They're yeah, let's just keep racking this stuff up. So they're focused, right? So now it's not even you're gonna catch them napping. They're not. I brought this one up last night, and Bet365 has it up right now. I don't think it's going to – I think the bubble's going to get burst, Scott. I don't think LeBron's going to score 10 points in every game. So LeBron James to score 10 points in each of every game that he plays in this year. It's minus 110.
Wow.
Think about that. I want big plus money on this for at least some plus money for LeBron. Come on. I get it, he's LeBron James, but what happens if he starts a game and he twists his ankle and he gets knocked out of the game?
Right.
You win the bet. Yeah. And we're seeing on a nightly basis, Scott, he's literally got 4 points, 3 points, 5 points in the first half. It's almost like he's a non-factor and he sort of gets these points in the second half to keep his stats alive,
Right. They're going to get it in a close game, and he's not going to have 10, and he's not going to get it. He'll get it in blowout losses or blowout wins like last night, but when they get in a close game, And then is he going to embarrass himself? They're down 25 in the fourth quarter with 5 minutes left, and he's still on the court with 6 points. Would he do that? When the whole world would be laughing at him? Probably would, to tell you the truth. But
how about this, Scott? He's got a 1,289 game streak going right now of 10 points or more.
Maybe his goal is 1,300. Then he says, all right, whatever happens, get me to 1,300, 11 more, and then whatever happens after that, coach, you do.
And here it is last night. LeBron James, and this is from last night. LeBron James accused of stat padding to accrue his legacy by stat padding. He was definitely hunting for it. This whole 10-point thing, he was aware. You and I talked about it last night. Chandler Parsons says, the first time in my life I saw an older LeBron James who just played and looked like his age. Like you said, so LeBron's aware of this 10-point thing. Me and Scott talked about it last night. Like at the half, there's going to be looks and sort of an awareness of, hey, I'm taking a couple of shots here in the second half. But like you said, either he gets hurt, a game is a blowout, it's super close, he's stuck at 8, and Luka's just got the ball all the time. This bubble's going to burst, Scott, at minus 110. I'll take it. I say that LeBron does not. One of these nights, hell, it might happen in the next couple of nights, actually, the way things are going.
Yeah. He was on the court last night, down 25 with 7 minutes left when he hit his last three-pointer. So
that's the thing, though. So he's hell-bent on keeping the streak alive.
Yeah. So, if he doesn't, it's not because, he's not cognizant of it. But I still would take that bet on the no. I think there'll be a game, like I said. It's the competitive games where he's screwed.
I like Luka. He's a cool dude, and he's fun to watch and all this, but I'm not like gaga about his game and stuff. I've always thought that he's kind of like a stat guy himself, and you're not going to win with him. And I just want to bring this up, Scott. It's pretty amazing last night. So Luka Doncic last night, he went off for 38 points. His plus-minus, Scott, was minus 25.
Wow.
Think about that.
That's unbelievable. Wow.
Like LeBron was only minus 6.
The play is Our Fam. You don't know about Our Fam? Go look her up on social media. Go look at YouTube. 19-year-old from Spain, 6'6", block shots, runs the floor, rebounds, post up, inside, outside, pop the corn, serve the beer, and it can clean up the mess when you're done eating your meal. This lady is absolutely fantastic.
Pro basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
Ole Miss got left at the altar, and Ole Miss decided, I'm either going to let her continue to embarrass me, or I'm going to have some self-respect and kick her ass out the door and lock it behind her and not let her back in. And that, for me, is the right thing to do. Lane Kiffin had the right to leave.
Yep.
He chose to leave. I wish you the best of luck. Not really.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
You take a look at it, you say, all right, well, can they do this? But the one thing I know, every year I love the SEC championship game. Like this year, we're going to get a pretty good treat in the Big Ten because you have Indiana and Ohio State. But every single year, it's never like I don't have to watch that. Because the reason I bring that up is there's a game that's going to be on 8 o'clock that probably should just be played at midnight or 1 a.m. The ACC championship game. Like, things are not the same.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
It's stunning to think that, right? And I had the over on the win total or going into the year with the Patriots was 8.5. I thought they could win 10 games. They've already won 10 games. And that is a stunning turnaround, to go from worst to first here. And they're not the only team that could do it. The Jaguars could do it too. They are right on that precipice here if they handle their business against the Titans the next couple weeks and, at least split between the Indianapolis Colts those two games.
Fantasy sports today, only on SportsGrid.
welcome back. In-game live, game day on the grid. Scott and Gabe got some big college basketball, a little hockey, a little NBA, a little bit of everything tonight. So let's go back to the baskets. We'll start a little college hoops where the Dookie Pukies still lead Florida, but they've come back. They were down double digits first half, 56-51. This game's going way under the original number. 5.5, almost 6 minutes left to go in the game. Duke's laying 5.5. The over-under is down to 132.5. That was a 156-157 game when they tipped off. So clearly not reaching the numbers. Good game. Gave out Purdue to start the show, one of our opening pickoffs there, laying 14.5 or so against the Rutgers Scarlet Knights, who lost to Central Connecticut, by the way. I know the RAC, some crazy things can happen at the RAC, but it's not happening tonight. They're down 20. 11 minutes left. Purdue's now laying 23.5, so that's looking halfway decent. And then we got a couple of games that tipping off here in a little bit, bottom of the hour, and in 5-10 minutes with the Kentucky-North Carolina game, and just underway, about 6 minutes in, Gabe. It's 13-11. Both of us are on Kansas, leading Connecticut. Still getting 2.5 original number, so you're not missing out if you didn't get it in. Over under 143.5.
Yeah, most of these college games tip off like immediately, right at the designated time. North Carolina and Kentucky getting ready for tip-off in a couple of minutes here. Coach Young said he likes the 6.5. It's early in the season to call it a must-win situation, but the natives are getting restless right now at Kentucky. Stoops is out as far as the football team underachieved, so the football fans aren't happy. And the basketball team, this is the downfall of when you have a $23 million payroll on your team. So Kentucky, you're spending nearly $23 million, guys, on their players this year. And Louisville's a big rival. They went to Louisville. They lost. They got lit the F up by Michigan State, all right, on a neutral court. They've already been, so they're two sort of showcase games against real teams. They got bludgeoned. Like, they got beat down pretty good. Now they're playing at home. Now, those other games was neutral court, right? One of them was at MSG, and the other one was at Louisville. So now they're back home against North Carolina. They need this one, Scott. I'm not really in love with laying the 6.5. I do think Kentucky are going to win the game. But I think it's going to be a track meet. The total's 163.5 right now, moments before tip-off here. I do think it's going to be a track meet. And, listen, Kentucky pushed the pace. North Carolina won a run and gun. This game is tailor-made to go over the number. The only problem is Kentucky don't shoot very well. That's why they're losing these games. They shoot the three a lot, but they don't hit them, right? They're like a lot of these young college teams. Like, they don't shoot very well. So we'll see if the shots drop tonight, but we know they're going to take the shots at home. Pope wants to push the pace tonight, so I'm going to bet the over, Scott. I've got a Duke Kentucky moneyline parlay. So I'm hoping on Kentucky to win the game, but I think it'll go over to 163.5.
Yeah, I like North Carolina in the game. Listen, I love Kentucky, but I'm not prepared at this point. That was a weird press conference. They beat a couple of cupcakes after that, but that Pope press conference after the Michigan State law, that was just like bizarre for 4 or 5 games into a season, just saying the team is like in all disarray. There's got to be a lot of stuff behind the scenes going on. So I don't have any faith in that team.
It's a lot of pressure there, man. But it's early in the season, and the pressure's building. Like, it won't be pretty there. Like, they overreact. It's like Philadelphia or something for the Eagles. It's Kentucky basketball. It's all they got. Like, if they lose tonight, I would not want to be Pope at that press conference tonight.
Yeah. By the way, I was thinking about that last night, after the show ended. I said, thank goodness the New York Giants special teams coach is not coaching in Philadelphia. If they're ready to, throw rocks at the offensive coordinator of his Super Bowl champion team, could you imagine what they would be doing to their special teams coach after that game last night?
They might light the house on fire.
You got another,
I saw today, actually. I saw today in the New York Post, actually, it said, well, we know one coach that won't be coming back. There was a story about special teams. Like, we called it last night, like early in the game. Remember, Scott? I said, this guy knows he's done now. Like, at halftime, he should have texted his wife, hey, honey, call the realtor, put the house on sale. We're done. We're moving.
we're done for dinner early tonight. Yeah, I'm coming home for dinner tonight. Yeah. Oh, my goodness.
Like, that was bad. So did you see Koo's excuse? See Koo's excuse?
Yeah, he said the ball was moving. That ball wasn't moving.
I thought the ball was moving. So he said, I thought the ball was moving. I tried to adjust. Like, just say you screwed up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Just you put your left foot too far forward and you got stuck. That's all. Yeah.
Hey, I
Crazy
said
thing
last
is-
night I'd never seen that in my life before, and I feel better about it because Peyton Manning said the same thing evidently on the Manningcast last night. He goes, damn, I never seen that before. Like, Manning said the same thing. He goes, I've never seen that before. That's Peyton Manning.
Yeah. The ball was moving my ass.
The play is Our Fam. You don't know about Our Fam? Go look her up on social media. Go look at YouTube. 19-year-old from Spain, 6'6", block shots, runs the floor, rebounds, post up, inside, outside, pop the corn, serve the beer, and it can clean up the mess when you're done eating your meal. This lady is absolutely fantastic.
Pro basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
Ole Miss got left at the altar, and Ole Miss decided I'm either going to let her continue to embarrass me or I'm going to have some self-respect and kick her ass out the door and lock it behind her and not let her back in. And that, for me, is the right thing to do. Lane Kiffin had the right to leave.
Yep.
He chose to leave. I wish you the best of luck. Not really.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
You take a look at it, you say, all right, well, can they do this? But the one thing I know, every year I love the SEC championship game. Like this year, we're going to get a pretty good treat in the Big Ten because you have Indiana and Ohio State. But every single year, it's never like I don't have to watch that. Because the reason I bring that up is there's a game that's going to be on 8 o'clock that probably should just be played at midnight or 1 a.m. The ACC championship game. Like, things are not the same.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
It's stunning to think that, right? And I had the over on the win total or going into the year with the Patriots was 8.5. I thought they could win 10 games. They've already won 10 games. And that is a stunning turnaround, to go from worst to first here. And they're not the only team that could do it. The Jaguars could do it too. They are right on that precipice here if they handle their business against the Titans the next couple weeks and, at least split between the Indianapolis Colts those two games.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Day here on the grid. Scott and Gabe, hour number 2. We got Colby Dance, the college basketball or college experience podcast, joining us here in a couple of minutes. We'll do a little NFL, actually a little college football and college basketball with him. Yeah, my bad.
Florida and Duke, Scott's a 2-point game now. 59-57. It's getting close. Duke were up by double digits. Florida have cut the lead.
Yeah. When's the last time Duke has lost a basketball game at home? I have to look that up. That doesn't happen too often, right?
To a non-conference team, too. Like, very rarely. Normally, they're not playing great non-conference teams, but, I'm sure their non-conference record's even more impressive. Kansas up 17-15 right now. Good call with Purdue. Purdue are raking Rutgers at the rack. That was a brief little run that Rutgers were good at basketball.
Yeah.
It was a heartbreaking football loss, too.
Year.
Damn, against Penn State. I had them, Scott, to over 5.5 wins. So I had them on the money line, essentially. Right. I didn't hedge it either. I know. Sailing along. I thought, this is an easy. Shannon will get them to a bowl. I bet them every year almost 5.5, and Shannon always gets into a bowl game. But their offense was trading points with Penn State. They were going back and forth all day long. They did cover the point spread at least. They were getting 14, but man, Kalianakis didn't make any mistakes until it mattered, Scott, with 3-4 minutes left, right? They traded points. It was oh, God, he just dropped the ball once. He dropped back to pass. The ball literally fell out of, he went to throw the ball, and the ball, fell out of his hand, and the kid on Penn State caught it in the air and ran it in for a touchdown. It was you can't make it up. That's how Rutgers' season basically imploded, and they didn't make a bowl game. Penn State were playing hard, though, man, because they wanted to make a bowl game.
Yeah. It's
They're
weird.
in trouble, Scott, Penn State now, huh? Like, they're in big
going
trouble,
after
bro.
Sitaki. I mean, is
They didn't get him.
really going to be able to? They didn't get him. BYU kept him.
BYU upped the deal. They kept him. They paid him more today.
Wow.
They can't get anyone.
What does that tell you?
They can't get anyone. They have no recruits. They have 5 recruits. They can't get any coaches because when they fired Franklin, they have a plan, number one. So, like, they didn't have someone lined up behind the scenes, and, like, they weren't, like LSU's governor came out today, was working on Kiffin all year, that they met in October type of deal. Right? Like, it was a long haul with Kiffin. They had a plan at LSU for a certain couple of coaches, et cetera. But, Scott, Jimmy Sexton. So he's the agent. He represents 1 million NFL players, but he represents pretty much every college football coach, including James Franklin. And he doesn't like the way that Penn State handled the James Franklin situation. So he's blacklisted his clients from, like, signing with Penn State. Like, none of the, Scott, like, they haven't got anyone, bro. Like, even like the James Madison coach, UCLA, Chesney. All right, he would have been good for Penn State. Nope. You know what I mean? Like, what are they going to do, Scott? Like, they're out of coaches to hire. Silverfield left Memphis for Arkansas. Chesney left JMU. The South Florida guy, Golish, is the new Auburn head coach.
Yeah.
Dude, like, all these jobs have filled up. Like, who's left to hire at Penn State? And they got no recruits or no players. All their commits went to Virginia Tech with James Franklin.
and they're falling
19 kids, Scott, left with him. 19
Wow.
kids. And say what you will about Franklin, he recruits well, man. Saquon Barkley, Micah Parsons, Miles Sanders. I can go on. Like, the running back, the tight end now, the kid on the Colts now.
And Warren.
Right?
Yeah, Warren.
Warren, Tyler Warren. Like, dude, he's a great recruiter. Players like him.
Yeah. Even quarterbacks. The quarterbacks didn't play great, but they were highly touted. He was getting, like, top 5.
That's his one weakness. He's got to get a damn quarterback at Virginia Tech. Yeah.
Couldn't develop any quarterbacks there. I mean,
I know. If Penn State had a quarterback, Scott, if they had a quarterback, they would have won. Like, they were a quarterback away. Drew Aller cost them, bro. He cost them in the playoffs. He wasn't that good. I mean, he was supposed to be good. He wasn't. He was heavily hyped. He wasn't. They should have went with Bo Prabula.
Yeah, the transfer. Would they call up Bill O'Brien? I mean, he's been so bad. At least this year,
the same thing, Scott. Today, I swear to God, I thought the same thing. I'm like, all right, you're in emergency mode now.
Yeah.
Not Bill O'Brien, but I thought the same thing, Scott. It's the exact same thing. I was like, all right, who's the modern Bill O'Brien you can bring back into this right now?
Right.
Like, is there a Penn? Like, it's got to be a Penn State alum. Like, you don't have one assistant coach out there. Like, it's somebody that cares, that says, all right, I'm going to come in and save this thing.
Even Matt Rule said no, and he played there, for goodness sakes, and he wanted no part of that sinking ship. I mean,
like, what? Like, who?
Wow.
Like, and Michigan State just hired. Pat Fitzgerald.
Yeah, from Fitzgerald,
the guy from Northwestern. Let me ask you: there's one guy that you and I haven't brought up yet. Brian
He's coaching
Kelly.
now?
Brian Kelly.
Oh, yeah.
If you're Penn State, you almost don't have a choice. And it sucks because Kelly's such a horrible person and he falls ass backwards into this. I don't even like the guy, and I would do it if I was Penn State. What are you going to do?
Wow. You got to get somebody of value. Or name recognition and all that other stuff, right? I mean,
they must really not like Brian Kelly. Like, they must not like,
you haven't heard his name at all. No one's talked about, maybe he's done. Maybe he just says, you know what? I don't know if his contract, like with Kiffin, another one of the dopey things that LSU gave Lane Kiffin. Kiffin gets fired tomorrow. He collects all $70 million, and if he signs somewhere else 2 days from now, he keeps all that $70 million from LSU. That might not be the case with Brian Kelly. Whereas if Kelly signs a new contract, it might be deferred against the money that LSU owes him. And he may be saying, you know what, screw LSU. I'm not going to hire you. I'm not going to get a good job right now. I want the $50 million from you. So, Yeah, jeez.
Jeff Brom is a name now that Penn State people are trying to potentially go after. I don't think that'll happen personally.
Yeah.
Brian Hartline. Brian Hartline's a candidate now. Offensive coordinator, wide receiver coach of Ohio State.
Right?
Like, really?
Yeah,
this is what it's come to if you're Penn State?
Wow.
Wouldn't you think Brian Kelly?
Yeah, Midwest guy. Right? I mean, it would be a perfect fit. He's got to have some connections.
He's not terrible. He's just a jerk.
Yeah. Apparently just a jerk, right? He wasn't even that bad at LSU, but he must have been such a jerk that they said, that's it. If you're not going to get us at least 10, 11 wins, then you're out of here. Even if we
you got to win if you're going to be a jerk. Like Notre Dame tolerated it because he won games.
Yeah. So if you're only going to win 8, your
but
jerk
it's wild,
too high.
isn't it, Scott? Penn State fired James Franklin because he couldn't beat top 5 ranked teams. Couldn't beat Michigan, Ohio State. He beat everybody else pretty much. Hell, he had the Oregon Ducks in overtime, bro, like 4 or 5 weeks ago. Like, think about it.
Yeah.
The game was that close. Like, Drew Aller threw an interception in overtime. Is that James Franklin's fault? Right. He got the star quarterback. He threw a bad pick. Like, well, you know what I mean? And, all right, fired a coach. Okay, you fired the coach.
Yeah.
Yet now you're going to be nowhere close like an elite program. Like, you really burned your program to the ground. Like, you had no one lined up.
Well, that's the thing. Like, if you're going to fire a guy, you got to have certain connection. You go to agents and say, hey, listen, if we're going to make a move here, is your guy interested? You got to get 4 or 5 of those. It doesn't, I think it was just a wake up Sunday morning and be so pissed off we lost again.
Yep. They didn't plan it. They didn't plan it.
Yeah.
And also, they're also arrogant, Scott. They're surprised that everyone's saying no to them and stuff, right? They think that, what do you mean you don't want to coach Penn State, right? And like you said, they're getting rejected by a lot of people right now.
Yeah. You're going to have to go down to the Sun Belt level and get an unknown coach, that's having some success versus, going to get, a Lane Kiffin or, whoever, Lincoln Riley.
And what's crazy is they have money. They have the money, and no one even wants their money.
Yeah.
The play is Our Fam. You don't know about Our Fam? Go look her up on social media. Go look at YouTube. 19-year-old from Spain, 6'6", block shots, runs the floor, rebounds, post up, inside, outside, pop the corn, serve the beer, and it can clean up the mess when you're done eating your meal. This lady is absolutely fantastic.
Pro Basketball Today, only on SportsGrid.
Ole Miss got left at the altar. And Ole Miss decided, I'm either going to let her continue to embarrass me or I'm going to have some self-respect and kick her ass out the door and lock it behind her and not let her back in. And that, for me, is the right thing to do. Lane Kiffin had the right to leave.
Yep.
He chose to leave. I wish you the best of luck. Not really.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
You take a look at it, you say, all right, well, can they do this? But the one thing I know, every year I love the SEC championship game. Like this year, we're going to get a pretty good treat in the Big Ten because you have Indiana and Ohio State. But every single year, it's never like I don't have to watch that. Because the reason I bring that up is there's a game that's going to be on 8 o'clock that probably should just be played at midnight or 1 a.m. The ACC championship game. Like, things are not the same.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
It's stunning to think that, right? And I had the over on the win total or going into the year with the Patriots was 8.5. I thought they could win 10 games. They've already won 10 games. And that is a stunning turnaround, to go from worst to first here. And they're not the only team that could do it. The Jaguars could do it too. They are right on that precipice here if they handle their business against the Titans the next couple weeks and, at least split between the Indianapolis Colts those 2 games.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live, Game Day here on the Grid. Scott and Gabe just having some fun. I'll throw one more at you. Now, this guy is currently employed, but it's the same state, and he's under some hot water pressure. That is for sure. What if the Pittsburgh Steelers were to actually move on from Mike Tomlin? Now, Pittsburgh to Penn State's not exactly next door. I will say that. Pittsburgh's all the way on the western part of Pennsylvania. Penn State's kind of in the middle, and then there's Philadelphia all the way on the east. But he's under pressure, big name. I don't know if he could do college coaching and recruiting and all that other mumbo jumbo, but, obviously a familiar name for Pennsylvanians.
I think if Tomlin coach again, he's an NFL guy. I don't think Tomlin has the patience for kids. And I wouldn't throw Tomlin under the bus. We go through this every year with Pittsburgh. People blame Tomlin all the time after every loss. And, it's sort of rinse and repeat, whether his time is done there. I don't know if you agree with me or not, but I don't think it's a Tomlin problem. I think it's a quarterback problem. Now, how much of an influence does Tomlin have on the quarterback decisions is the question, right? They've got a general manager. The Rooneys are very active on the quarterback. Like a lot of owners, guys, they don't get involved with running backs and wide receivers and stuff like that, but they do with quarterbacks, right? Like with the draft, you've got to tell the owner this is going to be the face. Like the owner's the one that's cutting a check to give the guy $180 million or whatnot. Like the owners get involved with this stuff. And who's making the decisions to, Scott, keep kicking the can down the road as far as developing a quarterback is concerned, right? Yeah. You did the Russell Wilson, Justin Fields thing. You didn't learn your lesson, right? You don't draft quarterbacks. You drafted Kenny Pickett. You got it wrong. You gave up on him pretty quickly. And now what are they going to do next year? You're not bringing Aaron Rodgers back.
No.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So you're in the same damn position, right? Like you haven't, so you're going to have to bring in a free agent again next year. Matt Jones will be the quarterback of the Steelers next year, I guess. Or he's the guy, or, you know what I mean? Or who's the other guy? Trey Lance is a free agent. Like, it's not pretty.
Would they throw a ton of money at Daniel Jones, steal him away from Indianapolis? They could do that. He's a free agent.
Dear God, but that's not going to win a Super Bowl for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I know. And I think we're going to find that out over the next 3-4 weeks.
Colts are going backwards,
I really
Scott.
do.
Yeah, Colts are going back. You notice now the Jags are in first place and the Texans are coming up. Yeah. Let's see. Talk to us. Remember a month ago, the Colts are going to the Super Bowl and they're going to be unstoppable. They got Sauce Gardner. Well, Sauce Gardner's out for the next 3-4 weeks. Daniel Jones been playing on like a broken leg, evidently. I don't know. He's got like some broken something, Scott, if you see. Kid's been sucking, been toughing it out and sucking it up and playing, but I'm with you. I think the Colts are going in the wrong direction. They will not be a threat in the playoffs.
Yeah. Even if they get there, which they might not. If it really falls apart, they lose.
Man, that Texan game's big, against KC.
Yeah. Well, we got some good games this week in the NFL. Some real kind of like win or else, situations.
Yeah.
It's, Kansas City.
Buffalo, Cincinnati even.
Buffalo, Cincinnati.
Like Cincinnati, we see with Burrow back, they're dangerous. Buffalo needs to win the game. Maybe Cincinnati thinks, hey, we can win out and win the division still.
Yeah, I looked at a game, and it's 8.5 to 1 for them to win the division. And it's not, they're only 2 back. Right, you only got 5 left, but they hold the head-to-head tiebreaker right now over Baltimore. They beat them, and they're 3-1 in the division, so they're in a position to really win the tiebreaker against Pittsburgh as well, who they split with.
So they're at the Bills, and then they play the Ravens. So there it is. They control the game there against the Ravens. Then they're at the Dolphins. They host the Arizona Cardinals.
Winning.
And they finish by hosting the Cleveland Browns.
Winning. And they're giving you
like
8.5 to 1 right now. Yeah.
They'll probably be favored at home, small favorites or whatever, pick them, whatever against the Ravens, favored against the Dolphins, favored against the Cardinals, favored against the Browns.
This week is the key. They got to beat Buffalo.
You're right.
It's all predicated on.
Yeah, they beat Buffalo. They're right back in this. You're right. They actually are. That's why it's scary for Buffalo. But big game. One of the many big games this week, like you said.
Yeah. 8.5 to 1. Not a bad, if you like hunch bet plays, not a bad little hunch on Cincinnati. We've seen them do this before. So, Dookie Pukey up 1, 67-66. And we got a timeout. Florida ball. Wow. I think we got 1 point. I got 1.
Yeah, so like 0.1 left or something. Like
I got 1.5 on my TV, but my TV's about a minute behind Florida ball.
Wow.
Now college is not the NBA.
66.
Yeah, college they got to inbound the ball. They got to rebound off a missed free throw.
Yeah.
So NBA, you can move it a half court. You don't do that in college. Although women's college you do, but men you don't for whatever reason.
They should let them do it in the men. Oh, I don't know. You could argue they shouldn't let them do it in the NBA, or you could argue that they should let them do it in college. But I think at this point, you should let them do it in college.
Yeah, I don't know why they don't. Like I said, they do it for women. They do it in the NBA.
There's a long list of things I could go over. Like, drives me crazy. The other one is like in college. Why is a guy down because his knee's down if no one touches him?
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like you see like an interception in college football. A kid in the middle of the field will make a play. He'll fall down, but no one's around him, and he could get up and return it. But they whistle the play dead out of player safety in college. Like, what are we doing? Like, really? Like, you're not safe. It's not safety for anybody, right? It's just a lot of. Remember in the old days at college, it wasn't that long ago that they wouldn't name the number on a penalty because it was kids. They didn't want to like sing it. They'd just be like holding on the offensive line. Now it's like they throw the kid under the bus, like holding number 72.
They grabbed him by the shirt and yanked him down.
Yeah, and then this poor kid, they highlight and they show him. Oh, he's having a rough night, this kid tonight, the old lineman. But yeah, remember in the old days, they were like, yeah, we don't name the number. And it was funny because they always see the coaches asking the referee, who was it anyway? Who would you call it on? Like,
yeah. So, all right, let's see. It should be over by now because, like I said, I'm usually a minute behind, but it's not reflecting it. Purdue by 18 over Rutgers. Minute 52 left, so we got to sweat that.
What do you think of that USC game tonight? We talked about it, but I told you, Oregon aren't that good this year. USC are undefeated too. USC are balling.
Yeah, 4-3 is Oregon. They lost 3 in a row. So I hate that court. I'm not going to bet it because I don't want to watch it because I'll get a headache with that dopey Oregon court. But I do like USC in the game. Yeah,
they give me the Trojans.
The play is Our Fam. You don't know about Our Fam? Go look her up on social media. Go look at YouTube. 19-year-old from Spain, 6'6", block shots, runs the floor, rebounds, post up, inside, outside, pop the corn, serve the beer, and it can clean up the mess when you're done eating your meal. This lady is absolutely fantastic.
Pro basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
Ole Miss got left at the altar, and Ole Miss decided I'm either going to let her continue to embarrass me or I'm going to have some self-respect and kick her ass out the door and lock it behind her and not let her back in. And that, for me, is the right thing to do. Lane Kiffin had the right to leave. Yep. He chose to leave. I wish you the best of luck. Not really.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
Take a look at it and say, all right, well, can they do this? But the one thing I know, every year I love the SEC championship game. Like this year, we're going to get a pretty good treat in the Big Ten because you have Indiana and Ohio State. But every single year, it's never like I don't have to watch that. Because the reason I bring that up is there's a game that's going to be on 8 o'clock that probably should just be played at midnight or 1 a.m. The ACC championship game. Like, things are not the same.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
It's stunning to think that, right? And I had the over on the win total or going into the year with the Patriots was 8.5. I thought they could win 10 games. They've already won 10 games. And that is a stunning turnaround, to go from worst to first here. And they're not the only team that could do it. The Jaguars could do it too. They are right on that precipice here if they handle their business against the Titans the next couple weeks and, at least split between the Indianapolis Colts those two games.
Fantasy sports today, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the Grid. Final segment for Gabe and I. We'll be back tomorrow night, 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on SportsGrid. So, yeah, a couple college basketball games, kind of reviewing everything. Late games tonight. I like USC, and I can't bet on Oregon, laying to 3.5. Big Ten openers, crazy as it sounds, as we talked about for both teams. I also like Utah getting 8.5 against Cal. I don't know if they win, but Cal's coming off a monster rivalry win against UCLA, their first win against a ranked team since 2020. Utah is 6-2. They lost to Grand Canyon, but that Grand Canyon team is actually pretty good. So that's really not that big a deal. They've owned this series 8-2, their last 10, including 6 straight wins against Cal. So I'll take them, Gabe, plus the 8.5, and giving USC laying to 3.5 on the road in college basketball.
I do like the Trojans tonight. We've got a late NBA game tonight, which would be super cool. It's just unfortunate that with the Golden State Warriors, you never know who's in and who's out with their lineup, and that's why you have the point spread that we have tonight. The Oklahoma City Thunder, speaking of their record, Scott, and the Golden State Warriors and stuff. So the Thunder keep rolling, but the Warriors are getting 11.5 points tonight in this game. No Steph Curry. 11.5, no Steph Curry.
I mean, if OKC takes them seriously, right, they run them off the court. I made that bet 18-1 on OKC to go undefeated in the month of December. So they got 13 games. This might be the toughest, even without Steph Curry. But I still we'll have some fun.
They're 11.5 point favorites.
Yeah, you would think they would win. But, when you look at who they're playing in December, this one, I think they play at Minnesota. Other than that, and I'll keep a running track. Right now, $100 to win $1,800. If I put $100 on OKC tonight money line, I'm going to win $16.67. I'll keep track of this as long as they continue to win and
see what it adds up to.
Which way
it's
I
the problem. They're
more.
Such big money line favorites all the time.
Yeah.
SGA's prop is 30.5 tonight. It's pretty. You could say, "Wow, this game could be a blowout," and maybe he doesn't get there, but. Thing with SGA, he generally does get there, and all these games are blowouts, even though he doesn't really play much in the fourth quarter. So it's kind of dangerous. I'm going to go with Chet Holmgren over 16.5 points, Scott. Golden State are bad against big men. They don't have any, they don't have a natural center and stuff. They get lit up by all big men all the time. So I think Holmgren's going to have his way tonight, and it'll be a stat padding night for Chet Holmgren. Let's go. I'm going to go over 16.5 points for Chet tonight.
All right. Let's let that roll. Hockey, you got the 2 late games starting here in about 10 minutes. Vegas, Chicago, and then LA and Washington. Washington, very quietly has kind of turned things around. It looked like they were going to, not have a great season. They're 5-1 their last 6. Kings, for whatever reason this year, play better on the road than they do at home after being a really good home team. I'll take the Capitals. How about Crosby scoring 2 more goals last night, by the way. But I'll take the Capitals plus 105 at LA tonight.
Yeah, I don't love it, but I'm going to take the LA Kings tonight. As you stated, it's sort of just a contrarian angle. The Capitals have been on a roll right now, but it's tough to roll through the West Coast like this. The Kings, for whatever reason, they haven't been good on their home ice. It's sort of hit or miss with them on their home ice. But minus 120, a very short price for the Kings tonight. We talked about liking the Blackhawks, plus 1.5 goals. In Vegas, minus 110 only. A lot of times when you're getting plus 1.5, you got to lay juice. This isn't bad. And we've already hit a winner tonight in the NHL. We gave you Vancouver and Colorado over 1.5 in the first period of play. It's 1-1 after the first period of play right now. So we hit the over 1.5 in the first period. Colorado are still minus 290 favorites. Vancouver plus 220. Vancouver minus 115, plus 1.5. But as I mentioned, Scott, Vancouver beaten them 3 of the last 4 times they played. They played earlier this year, and Vancouver lost 5-4 in overtime to them. So Vancouver played Colorado tough for whatever reason.
Interesting. All right. It's still a big fat number right now, but I still like the minus 1.5. Nashville, this is the game Nashville fans, my shot on goal guy, he's got 2 so far, so we need 1 more out of him. But this is the game that Nashville fans are like, where's this team been for a year and a half? They got goals out of Stamkos, Marchessault, they got assists out of Yossi, Hogue, and Stastny as well, and they're leading Calgary 4-0. So
they don't get to play Calgary every night. That's what's
exactly.
the problem.
yeah, that is the problem. So, All right, we got everything in. Hopefully you guys made a couple shekels along the way. We'll be back tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Eastern time, and let's go North Carolina. And we need some points in that North Carolina, Kentucky. I think when everything's said and done, we'll get the points. So enjoy the rest of your Tuesday night, folks, and we'll talk to you tomorrow night right here on Sports Grid.